Hi, in this video we're going to be comparing two of my personal bookshelves. I have tons of bookshelves, but we're going to focus on two of them in this video and just compare them. So first we have the Sauder 5-shelf bookcase, and here we have the Furinno 3-shelf bookcase. Okay, let's take a closer look at both of these bookshelves. Here's a closer look at the Sauder 5-shelf bookcase. So let's start by talking about how sturdy it is. So I would say compared to the Furinno, it is a little bit more sturdy because the materials are thicker. I think the quality of the materials when you're looking at the Sauder compared to the Furinno are superior. The Furinno is a smaller bookshelf and the wood itself is not as heavy duty. These materials are a little bit more sturdy. Another big difference between this one is that it has 5 shelves, so you're getting a lot more room for your book. Here's another look at the Furinno. You can see that it's much smaller. It only has 3 shelves. That is the main difference between these bookshelves. Also, the materials are a little bit thinner, not quite as heavy duty as the other one. Notice though that there's a very slight, just very slight bend here on this 3-shelf bookshelf. And let's take another look at the Sauder. The Sauder also does have a slight bend. Now, I don't think that the slight bend on these bookshelves is something to be concerned with. Pretty much, well, most of my bookshelves have that because I have so many books on them. So it's something that you're going to get when you buy bookshelves. But I haven't had any that have fallen apart or anything like that. As far as putting these together, this one is obviously more challenging to put together. You're supposed to use 2 people to put together this bookshelf. I was able to put it together by myself. And basically what you want to do is you want to lay everything on the floor and just carefully follow the directions. I feel like the directions are extremely good on both bookshelves, and if you follow the directions, you can do it. You will need a hammer so that you can hammer on the back piece. It gets hammered on with nails. The same is true for the Furinno. Let me just give you another look here so you can see how tall it is. Speaking of height, that is also another consideration, because if you look here at the Furinno bookshelf, it's much shorter, and notice something, it's short enough to fit here where I can actually close this curtain and open it, so it's just short enough to where it doesn't cover the window. So that was a big selling point for me with this one. I wanted to fit something here, and this was the right height. I could not fit a 5-shelf bookshelf here. If I could have, I probably would have bought the Sauder. I would have bought another Sauder because I have a ton of math books. I collect math books. So having more bookshelves is always a big plus. So yeah, big difference between these bookshelves, right? It's much smaller. The materials are not as sturdy, whereas the Sauder has more heavy duty materials and it's much taller. But a big advantage of this one is that it's space saving, right? It doesn't take up as much room. So there it is again, another look at the bookshelf, and then here is the Sauder bookshelf, much larger. So which bookshelf is better and which should you buy? Well, obviously I think that the 5-shelf bookshelf is superior in construction because the wood is thicker and it's bigger and it holds more books. However, that doesn't mean it's the best bookshelf, right? There's a reason I have the little one as well. It's because of size. So the best bookshelf, in my opinion, that you can buy is the one that will fit in your home, right? So whichever one you feel is going to serve your needs. This one was perfect, and I honestly need a second one because I've got some room here. So at some point, I'm going to buy another one to set next to it so I can fill more books there. But yeah, they're both great bookshelves. This one is much easier to put together too. I want to emphasize that. So the time spent putting this together is much shorter than the time spent putting this behemoth of a bookshelf by Sauder together. So both are great. And again, quick recap, 5 shelves on this one versus 3 shelves on this one. That one is taller and the materials are more sturdy. This one is smaller, the materials are not as sturdy, but you know, it's not bad, it's not poorly built. There's no issues, right? It's well made. It's a well-made bookshelf and it's holding up well, and I've got it jam-packed with books here. So yeah, they're both great, and honestly, if you can fit both in your home, I think they will both make a great addition. I hope it's been helpful. Good luck.